Hello, all heroes, and before we do get into this tier list, I do have a very brief announcement. First of all, we have officially launched the VOD channel for my Avatar Shoved streams. That is a YouTube channel where I will be posting the raw, uncut VODs from my Twitch streams, because on Twitch, they don't last forever. They only last for like a chunk of time before they disappear, and I don't want anybody to miss out on the funny and or highly embarrassing moments, of which there are many, because man, I suck at gaming sometimes. So we have that started, and I'm slowly but surely getting everything posted in there after the stream, so you can find that in the description below, as well as the Twitch channel. If you have not already, please go to my Twitch channel and follow. Make sure you have notifications turned on so that you will know when we go live, because all of your support helps a ton. I have got plans, I have got ideas, and every single one of them are contingent on you and my game not crashing. But that's another that's another factor entirely. So seriously, all of your support matters a ton, and I would love it if you can give both the VOD channel and my Twitch stream some love. Hopefully we'll see you there. And now on to the video. Hello, all heroes, and welcome back to Invincible Guarding the Globe, or should I say, the Invincible Guarding the Globe tier list update. Yes, there are some updates that need to be made to the beloved tier list here. First of all, we of course have the newer characters to be added of Shapesmith and the newest character, Blue Suit Mark. But there also are a couple adjustments that I both need and want to make to this tier list. There are some characters that have been performing surprisingly well, and some characters that have been underperforming surprisingly poorly. So we're going to talk about that right here and right now. So the first character that I actually really need to give some flowers to is Damian Darkblood. Now, Damian Darkblood is a funky one. He actually does have a degree of healing that he can grant to his particular faction. I actually do need to refresh myself here on the restrictions, but the reason I'm specifically mentioning the Demon Detective here is that I encountered a team. Okay, so it works on none of his Earth characters. When an enemy dies, he heals, and when an ally dies, he increases crit chance. Yeah, okay, so that's his main healing. This dude led to my aggressive downfall in a Invincible League arena. Or it was either Invincible League or it was the one before that, the second highest, which is still, you know, pretty freaking good. But even though I had the team beat, at least in terms of raw stats and by raw numbers and the fact that I had really good characters, I should have been able to win. But Damian Darkblood, combined with a bunch of Not of This Earth characters, he healed them a ton. Especially Battle Beast. This dude, combined with Battle Beast, shredded me. It was brutal. My Conquest could not do any damage that stuck. So, he is still a rare character, let's not forget, and that is an extremely limited use case. But it's certainly more than I've seen out of the other characters in the C tier, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to bump him up to an honorary B tier. I am actually going to put him right there, under Cecil and above Explode. Now, you know, let's not lose our minds here. He is still just a rare character with an extremely specific use case. Like, let's not go crazy here. But when it works really freaking good. Now, the next character that I'm going to talk about, and unfortunately I'm going to have to bump a couple characters down here just from my own personal observations, is Omni-Man. Not through any fault of his own. What he does really well, which is just be a stat ball that does damage. But he gets demolished by Universa and Invincible, and even Conquest now, because Conquest, he may be labeled as a defender, but he really is just an attacker with a lot of HP and defense. I mean, that dude takes the saying of the best defense is a good offense and runs with it. So Omni-Man, unfortunately, just does not have a lot of reason to be played in Arena. He works just fine in, like, GDA Ops, which is why I hesitate to damage him a whole lot. But if we are talking about the current meta of the game, I have to bump him down a little bit. Now honestly, this is more semantics, because I am still going to keep him in the A tier. He is still a great character, and he is still very capable of doing very good damage, especially if you give him some investment. But he's had a little bit of a rough time. So I'm gonna put him under Agent Spider, because I feel like if you had to choose between an Earth's Defender to use on your team, between Agent Spider or Omni-Man, I would choose Agent Spider over the two. Powerplex, I really hesitate to put Omni-Man under Powerplex. However, to that note, I actually feel like I should bump up Battle Beast and Russ a little bit, because Battle Beast has actually been finding quite a bit of success in Arena if you can keep him alive. And then, man, Russ with that Invader boost, especially living in a post-Universa Conquest Anissa world, that bad boy matters. So Russ, for sure, I'm going to bump up. I'm going to put him... Honestly, I kind of want to put Russ above Agent Spider, if I'm being honest. Again, it's not like he's changing tiers. It's just, he fulfills an aggressively good purpose right now with Invaders. And then Battle Beast, I'm going to put him above Omni-Man, but under Agent Spider. I would love to boost Powerplex, but I still have to play around with him a little bit before I can confirm that. Now, another promise I made is, on stream I believe it was, is I promised to give another honest look at Bulletproof. Because here's the thing with Bulletproof. He requires crits. He requires a lot of crits in order to be able to get his strikes. However, there is a lot more omnipotent gear floating around now, especially post-equipment event, that gives quite a lot of crit rate. There's also a lot more really good artifacts that give really good crit rate. So it's not as hard, at least late game, it's not quite as hard to build up crit rate as it once was. And somebody made a very good point on stream. Bulletproof is immune to stuns and pushes. And there's been a lot of that lately. So the fact that he is immune to that does count for something. Now, he still runs into a problem of not being anywhere near the level of characters like Invincible and Universa, and for him to work, you would need to build him aggressively. But in the interest of fairness, I'm going to put him at the top of B. I still really hesitate to put him past B, because, like, I would see a Monster Girl before I would see a Bulletproof, and, by the way, we'll talk about Monster Girl in a second here. But I want to at least give him a flower and say that in this day and age, there is a use case for him. It's a slim use case, and that doesn't change the fact that he still does lose out to existing characters, but it is a use case nonetheless. I'm also going to kind of give Green Ghost a little bit of love here, mostly due to the fact that she's got her case file out, so there is a reason to build her, and she is honestly pretty good. She's been outclassed by a lot of characters, and Red Rush especially, no pun intended, really sped past her in usefulness post skill ups. But I wanted to bump her up just a little bit because she is still really useful. Now, Monster Girl. Let's talk Monster Girl, because there's a problem with Monster Girl. She, despite her moniker of Monster Girl, actually does still have a human tag. And right now, a human tag is a death sentence between Damian Darkblood's notes and Anissa, her passive, especially if you got her passive maxed out. Being a human is a death sentence, and a bad one at that. So unfortunately, she really struggles in her role as a defender. However, if I'm being fair, I have to try and balance PvP and PvE. In your typical GTA ops, she's fine. She's totally fine. It's just, man, Anissa being in existence hurts. And this is where we get into the problem of PvP versus PvE. I will say, on the Discord, there are some awesome infographics that actually do separate PvP and PvE. I would definitely recommend looking into them. But I don't have the luxury of that right now. And frankly, I don't have the time or brain space for that right now. Monster Girl, I think I am still going to leave her where she is because she is still really good at what she does, which is being a bruiser type defender. She is certainly no Allen, and she is certainly no Conquest. But I think we'll leave her where she is for. Okay, I'm doing a brief little overview. I feel comfortable with Rexplode where he is, even post case file, because I mean it doesn't really change his usefulness. He is okay in some niche scenarios, not unlike Damian Darkblood. He can do some damage on a good day. Oh, right. I did actually want to give one flower to Anissa, because like I pointed out with Monster Girl, if you've got a human tag, you've got a death mark on you that Anissa very much wants to use to plow you into oblivion. That was some poor wording. You get my point. Very poor phrasing aside, she can absolutely melt any human characters. So I am going to put her up to S tier. Normally, the fact that she only works on humans would be a detriment. But there's a lot of humans, man. I mean, Seismic, Adam Eve, Invincible, Red Rush, Monster Girl, Omni-Man. There's a lot of humans in the game, so even though her passive only working on humans is technically a restriction, is it though? Is it though? I mean, let's be honest here. When your only restriction is that you only affect half of the roster, yeah, I mean, is that really a restriction? So I'm going to put her up. Do I want to put her above Conquest? I kind of do. Because a team without Conquest can work fine. But a team with Anissa will crush some fools. So I think we're going to put her up in S tier above Conquest. I mean, there might be a little bit of bias here because I do love Anissa. But I think she has more than earned a spot. Now, let's talk about the newer characters finally. We've done a lot of shuffling. There were some meta things I wanted to consider. But now, let's talk about newer characters. Mainly, Shapesmith and Blue Suit Mark. Shapesmith has been around for a while. And the general consensus is that he is a fantastic support. I might be a little optimistic here, and it is still a bit early. But I gotta put him in S tier above Robot. Maybe recency bias is making me put him a little high here, and we'll cover that in the future. Obviously, I'm not shy to adjust this in the future if I need to. But here's the thing with Shapesmith. He has really good healing. He can do a mass AoE confusion, which is no small feat. And it's kind of funny that this is a factor now. He does not have the cursed human tag. He is a Martian. He is not of this earth. He is not human, which means that he gives several middle fingers to Anissa's passive. Something that a lot of characters on this list can't do. And with Robot, he doesn't count as a human either, thank God. But Shapesmith does kind of outplace him. I mean, Robot has debuffs. Shapesmith kind of has better debuffs. Robot has healing. Shapesmith kind of has better healing. I mean, yeah, the simple fact of the matter is, Shapesmith is still fantastic. Now, here, the one thing that does scar him a bit is that availability is non-existent. You only get Shapesmith from events, and only a few at that. So, while Shapesmith is definitely a character you want to go for as soon as possible, I mean, he's rare. He's really, really rare. Speaking of rare, let us talk about Blue Suit Mark. I have gone aggressively. I'm going to put him right there for now. That's not his final placement. I'm just putting him there so that I can see him. I have aggressively gone back and forth on his kit. Because when it works, he will clean house. As long as he can get a kill, he can chain off of that and go from there. But he's got to get that kill, and if he doesn't, then it's tough. It is tough. As a newer character, I think he's got the lowest floor I have ever seen in a character. And I mean that to say, for him to work, for him to go crazy, you need to give him molecular enhancements. You've got to power up his skills, especially the headbutt skill, because 20% is just too low of a percentage, because especially OG Invincible will hard counter his headbutting if you don't give it some love. If you do get it to a higher percentage, you do have a chance of wiping out Invincible before he gets his shield up, but that is not a guaranteed chance. That is long odds at best. But it's still a chance. But like, you need to give him some love, man. You gotta give him his skills so that he can get higher true damage, so that he can do more damage with his headbutting, because that scales very aggressively on his skill ups. So he's got a really low floor, but the ceiling remains to be seen. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna put him between Omni-Man and Battle Beast, with the major caveat that he could fluctuate wildly. In the future, I might put him in S tier. In the future, there's even a slight chance I could put him in B tier. Like, seriously, that's how much this character's kit confuses me. Because if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, he's a dead man. Like, seriously. And I'm sorry, but there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it that OG Mark is dramatically better than Blue Suit Mark at the moment. Especially if you get a character like OG Mark or Thula who goes after Blue Suit Mark like immediately if he's got the highest attack and wipes him out, he can 100% be wiped out before he does anything. Like in OG Invincible, he's got his invincibility shield. Blue Suit Mark only triggers his invincibility shield if another ally drops below a certain threshold, and he kind of becomes a pseudo-defender, which is a little odd, but I see what they're going for. But you can absolutely waste him before he can do any of his cool stuff on a bad day. And again, I hate to say it, but he do got that human tag, which means, you know, sussy thematics aside, Anissa can absolutely blast through him and the team not even notice. So that is worth mentioning. So we're going to put him there for now, with the caveat that it could fluctuate wildly. We will see. But we are going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I gave some people some flowers that I think are well-deserved. The real dark horse here, I think, was Damian Darkblood, because, man, I got stumped by that team that had him. And he was keeping that Battle Beast alive and well. That man was healthy, and it was a pain in the butt. And there were some adjustments that I also felt like needed to be made. But we are going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think of this tier list down in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.